There's something very peculiar happening here. It may be to our advantage, however.
What will it take to make me normal? Perhaps a proper outlook, and I need to wear tweed, formal wear underneath. We're all underwear models. So where's my vibe? Happy when I'm not committed to this notion. Being dependent on another person's earthward motion. Dwell next to ocean, most of life spent floating. Feel alive in amongst these dead seas. With every breezes through the trees, I wanna please myself. First and foremost, I'm the host with the least pairs of creased pants and deep stares in sleep stands. I'm declining after dying. Can I have this last dance? Please. Fine, say no. You must go with just a little kiss for this low life who misses love but can't resist being rough, right? Of course I get chills, yet the sun still thrills me to no end in sight. The light shine bright against the canvas of the slightly awkward earth. Now moon rays listening to gaze on a monumental wishing well and kiss and tell. I'm well past my prime beat stage, but at least I've become well aged, made the grade A prime cut. But fuck, nothing really gets to me. Lets me know in due time I'm due for destiny. Found myself listening while I walk to myself. I talk in rounds and harmonize with the sound of my surroundings. Alive and feeling grounded, I'm striving in my striding. Alive up, the mind is cutting. Some say maybe golden, but can't hold up to being raised in a holding cell. Well, here we go again. When alone came the same man day in, day out. Walking through the streets, voice raised in a shout. What's the sense in being normal?
Mad, mad indeed. And most peculiar.
What will it take to make me normal? Perhaps a proper outlook, and I need to wear tweed formal wear underneath. We're all in newer models. What you don't see in magazines, you can see in novels. These days I can't write. I find inside hard to come by at night. Used to find this zone where my own thoughts were cone shaped, but now I'm homesick. The zone is black and walls and cotton candy. Back in halls decked with dainty little treats, which I could feast on. Gotta let myself go. I'm starting to get depressed. I'm a great little actor until I get undressed. Then I'm surely lacking sort of action, always out of place. Need to talk stop the empty space, and when I'm wasted, out of gas, shit-faced, blind, drunk, kind of evasive. Wanna show love, but everybody's so abrasive. Take my daisies, let's lead through this flower garden. Poetry's for fairies who get devoured. Started now, unless you're hard and you can prove you're smart and not a tartan wearing Celtic rock. Our Lady Peace for the college jock, at least I'm honest. So let's fuck. I'll be honest, I'm a truck driving bad out of hell. Swell guy, smell of my own sweat and make music to make you cry. But please don't try too hard to listen, you'll be missing the best part. I'm a mood beat for the moment, a soothing movement of the human heart. Darker than the blood bleeding through my nuclear part. Harder than the mud used to mummify this water. I'm a part of something big, but I'm just so goddamn little. I feel like a virus growing in a pool of my own spittle. I dilly dally, diddle sally, little see alley. And then for you express, I'm ready to start the rally. Cat cocked in position, thoughts of submission turn to new ways to learn. Cause burning rocks carry no moss. Old dogs are busy dying in the alley. I'm still learning these new tricks, so it's time I pimp Sally. What will it take to make me normal? Perhaps a proper outlook, and I need to wear tweed formal wear underneath. We're all underwear models. So where's my body?
Hey, what's the sense of being normal? We rock G-strings and pantyhose to the semi-formal. What's the sense of being normal? I'm playing soccer baseball in my head, searching for a porthole.
I give it 110% every time. This one's for the team. I'm doing it all for love, know what I mean?
You don't know what you're saying, you know.
I do.
No, I know you think you know what you're saying, but you're not saying it.
No, I know what I'm saying. I don't know what I mean, but I know what I'm saying. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Right, but it's not like anybody knows what anything means, right? It's not like anybody knows that. So at least I know I don't know what I mean. Just better than most people. They probably think they know what they mean, not just what they think they mean.
1 year later, it took me 21 years to make this album, but I did 3/4 of it in the last 2 weeks. Notebook at the phone call, cars lined up to be extinguished in an office place. Embarcadero is the biggest Muslim imaginable. This house can't stay clean. Too many superstars on the rug, too many tabs on the fog in the mirror. This is it, and I can see them when I see me. Reflection is relative, nothing can be finished by then. These phone bills pile up, forgotten half of the combos anyway. So is idol worship. These songs are all different sides of me. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but this is cleansing, a baptism in Babylon. A broken bottle of humans with idiosyncrasies are fiestas. And I forgot my hip-hop hat, cut off all the heads, quietly naked, screaming for attention. Used to wear my ego as a sweater, now it's the cape that follows me throughout the atmosphere. Keep your eyes to the ground, swallow your pride, talk to the voices in your head. How did the alarm get 2 hours ahead? It's been like that for a minute. My hands are dirty, and somehow I managed to separate that from the keyboards and melodies, to swallow up my fantasies. Smoke on these phrases, I don't wanna be amazing, just leave me so I can record album number 6 next month and always remain inspired. Picture chubby deaf girls dancing in the black and white freeze frame. I hear galaxies as communities I shall never see. Oh no, it's those creatures with the big heads and eyes, and they're coming for me. I think of pages and lots of light beaming from an unseen source. I'm more like these giants making bouquets. The bullet just entered and she's entering pain. It don't rain, it splatters while my data remains after the pain. Don't blame me if all these songs sound the same. I'm a product of envy and turmoil, roller coasting insane, trying to change the world 5 pages at a time, calling green light stop sign. It's all over laborious, my aura and story is static like clouds and sculptures. Humanity is too much cotton candy. Here's some food for thought, indigestion, decompose, recompose. Here's another patented product for your collection. Language is action-packed, come on let's picnic and nitpick between faction, fact, friction and mineral. Drink well, the cactus to the bear in the centerfold. Sing fast, the uprise goes on without us. I'm all ears, all hair, lines to get with your puppeteer. Every day is Truman Show, Truman showed their face and exposed flesh. Who made the cut? My pen is a sax, so the horn blows the grand scheme. Relax. Protocol, sex symbol, fly on the wall. There's a preemptive strike, mad struck, awestruck beyond comparison. White collar barbarian, tell them the librarian. This is the paper to bury the sky. It's liquid time, bringing styrofoam cups, filling outside of the lines. These are scribbles for an older exhausted pulse. It's the return of the never been there. Give me 5 minutes and murder $12. We stupid color cracker cupids, milking the earth for what it's worth. With my family, or single-handedly. This hand breaks things, this hand molds things. Son, I'm in my own shadow. The mold that breaks the graph. Your ears are my walls and these are mere paragraphs. Follow the architect. Sure, we're erecting architecture. That soul is only human. Enjoy my imperfections. Put a dot in that slaughtering articles. Pen and pencil and participles. Here's your entry. Posing, make participancy practice. Keep them skills dull. I bang symbolism up dome drums and still spare minutes. Check my postcard. These are letters from God. I've been practicing this face for centuries. These are active retention. I've been practicing this face for centuries. How you like my grill?
I dug deep in my system to find nutrition for others. Lost sleep, tossed and turned only to learn love is expensive. Off the sheet till my thoughts grew feet. Now we're taking my walks with me, but don't let them off the leash, cause they might cross the street and get hit. Listen a second, I pretended to need a friendship with many forms of energy till everyone repented. Now I meant this with a sentence and a sentence. Become a way of life to stay the night with my notebook, then wake up the next day to write again. Doing it again and again and again and again till my pen is inevitably inseparable from my fingers. Skin lingering in the depths of a pool, caressing this jewel, fighting 1,000,010 inner battles. Sadly straining my neck in the duels. Bother my head to keep cool. Truth stays on the download, meaning proof for the bleeding isn't useful in the council meeting. Achieving what you believe to be the dopest at the moment. I'm exceeding the quotient, feeding you toast. Machine must be broke. I'd rather give him an uppercut than give him a hook. So I'm steady throwing jabs just to get him to look. Every thought I ever had quietly sits in this book. For anyone who's afraid to jump, let me give you a push. Cause I'd rather give him an uppercut than give him a hook. So I'm steady throwing jabs just to get him to look. Every thought I ever had quietly sits in this book. For anyone who's afraid to jump, let me give you a push. From the north side to the south side, to the wild side, to the pesticide, to the genocide, to the homicide, you decide to set aside, pick a side, any side. Are you alone just for the ride? Oh me, oh my, I wish you would just die. Cause kid, you're the reason for my sore throat. Petty mortal, the war won't stop. So you hop in a porthole and sort those problems out. Child, it ain't all about your style. You could break it back to state the facts and make them smile. While I'm gaining my religion, painting by the pigeons, straining while you're listening to my brain on tying ribbons. Giving a splitting headache with energetic delivery. Living is a poetic, shredded by the edge of misery. Vividly describing the pain inside of this entity. Physically and mentally, we all pretend to need sympathy. Interesting enough, You say you don't give a what, but there's much. I grew to like through this mic that I clutch. So put your hands down and put your attention span up. Understand now, man, sound is a dimension you can't touch. Plans crush when the vocals that local name idea hits your ear. So kick, ditch your chair and stand up, cause I'd rather give them an uppercut than give them a hook. So I'm steady throwing jabs just to get them to look. Every thought I ever had, 5 cents in this book. For anyone that's afraid to jump, let me give you a push. Cause I'd rather give them an uppercut than give them a hook. So I'm steady throwing jabs just to get them to look. Every thought I ever had, 5 cents in this book. For anyone that's afraid to jump, let me give you a push. Well, bury my mind with a friendship bracelet in a tin can. Get your business down and dig me up out of the ground. When you get rich, man, I'll take a round of applause, but won't take a kid's hand. Cause the challenge tonight's to balance my mic without a kickstand. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. In a room full of hookers while my head isn't in town. I consume what you shoulda and assume that the lookers see the moon. And the fact I'm pushing you to do more than push a broom. The cushion soon goes to your head and enables you to see there really is more to life than busting nuts and smoking weed. But we proceed to say it ain't fair until we got gray hair. Next time I ask you to think, please don't give me a blank stare. Now take care. I'd rather give them an uppercut than give them a hook. So I'm steady throwing jabs just to get them to look. Every thought I ever had, quite sits in this book. For anyone that's afraid to jump, let me give you a push. Cause I'd rather give them an uppercut than give them a hook. So I'm steady throwing jabs just to get them to look. Every thought I ever had, quite sits in this book. For anyone that's afraid to jump, let me give you a push. So I push it up now. So push it up now. So push it up now. So push it up now.
My popularity's on the rise. My self-image is somewhat sinking. My head's expanding in size, but my stomach's shrinking. It all evens out in the end, that's what I'm thinking. Sing the cash register raps, just ching ching. Greenbacks bring the bling bling. Nah, I may stay home. Rev got the ring, ha ha, hey poem. On my answering machine, screening calls, feeling safe and alone. I want change in your message, not the coin return of a payphone. My boys are concerned that my brain's blown. Voices get turned away, annoyed with what they say. If it's a gay tone, and they're like, hey, ho, I'm all like, hey, yo. If you remain prone to spray stray shots with blood-stained Glocks in a face of stone, or melt your ice grill, it might spill and break your bone. Thugs in harmony, CD, plus any tapes you own. Replace the throne with some non-profits, drop bass home. Sages known to pull your card, kid, so chill. I mess up heads like bobbers with no skill. My only knowledge is the Holy Father, so thrilled that you don't know still what God is making martyrs out of molehills. Now if your soul is fulfilled, hold your dills and realize you're never satisfied till after you die from overkill. I'm from Placeboville, where we know the drill. I'm seen as so ill, but I wait for the nurse to leave so I can throw the pill. I am not sick, demented or listed as twisted. Bitch, what's up with this kid? Some insisted that I'm interested in running from the facts whispered. In a mating call, they get a busy signal from a number that's unlisted. Lumberjacks are gifted. When I swung the axe, it slid out of my grasp and injured this invalid. Invalid, toss offs, toss their cookies while tossing salad. I ghost write the most hype love song unless I'm horsing the ballad. I'm a with a platinum voice. I'm a cause I haven't a choice. Serving up this ish, cause fecal freaks need to eat excrement and fart rose petals. I breed hard rocks to impregnate stones and grow pebbles. I throw kettles at panhandlers and pot smokers. Sell incest to sexually repressed stockbrokers. I turn impotent pimps to sex slaves, then infest them with radioactivity from x-rays. I bootleg their skeletons the next day. Son, you can sense my dark mood once the sky gets gray. Little kids are like, let's play! Alright then, tell them to act like men, then I'll fight them. Let them hit me first and be like, strike again! Then it's my turn to see how far the limbs of little types bend. I tied them up with burlap rope. Word? That's dope. Manhandled the girl that lacked hope in her back road. She preferred crack cocaine. The heroin needed heroin never again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm from a species of czars who rule the deep seas and stars. Everything I do is important, so I save my feces in jars. And what I eat seems bizarre. I deep freeze and thaw MCs who ain't down by legalities of law. Now these analogies ain't raw, but when you secretly serve, it's well done. Y'all then become casualties of war. She called me Francis Allah, and I was flattered cause I ghost wrote the most dope love sonnet. That dumb harlot sung a ballad. I'm a sing along, come on. La la la. La 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 la.
When young, we mourn for one woman. As we grow old, for women in general. The tragedy of life is that man is never free, yet strives for what can never be. The thing most feared in secret always happens. My life, my loves, what are they now? But the more the pain grows, the more this instinct for life somehow asserts itself. The necessary beauty in life is in giving yourself to it completely. Only later will it clarify itself and become coherent.
Listen for the sound of drums. The colder the ground becomes, the closer I get to home. The planet's not fit to roam, what with all the chaos. But when I saw the savages, I played the law of averages. And when the river splits in half, I start to lose my wits and laugh and cry at the same time. There's nothing I can do about it. Even though I wouldn't doubt it if the winds began to blow and carried the sounds of my voice to the land below. So I put my hands around my mouth and holler to the sunken city that wallows in the filth of its own drunken pity. And wait to see a signal, but a signal's never seen. Eventually fatigue builds inside me exponentially, and so I sleep and dream that I am able to fly. They will respect a man with wings. Later I awake in agony and learn that while I was sleeping, the city had burned. Shrugging my shoulders, I pause and gather thought, think twice about staying put, and then decide I'd rather not. So I press on my agnostic pilgrimage, knowing that I can swim deeper than the Grim Reaper, ready for whatever sea creatures may abound when the water swallows me and not the other way around. Survival saw me through the mechanical district. Starvation leads to being cannibalistic. I've had to rely at times in silence and on talking quick, defending myself with nothing but my walking stick. I've never had friends and no parental guidance. I'm wild at heart and weird on top. I'm feared non-stop. Even though my rage is worn out, my life's a book with several pages torn out. I just climb trees and look for rhythm everywhere. To be the town crier in a city of stone throwers until my soul was laid bare and displayed in the parade square. Ignored more than a lot, not less. No one understood my thought process. I was gagged and bound over noise complaints, but commanding the resolve that destroys constraints, I found my escape in a melding of memories. The next thing I know, I'm rowing this boat and blowing this note on an old tarnished trumpet. Ever since then I've been wandering lots, watching the sky and pondering thoughts. Strange angel, music box genie, behind for some time now I'm blind in one eye, and how this happened exactly will never be known. My thoughts take the shape of the hangman's house. Never fails in time-traveling salesman visit.
You're not necessarily a man.
Neither the protest song nor the endorsement.
Generation
generation of deadbeats, re-head spin on the tombstone of Ginsburg, enduring the banality for soap rose for so long. As soap was out of bottle of Avion for the disembodied, and gin for Hemingway. We, without impetus, born through a trap door into this history. The universe shrinks and our concept of it doesn't fit anymore. An electric candle burns bedside, remorseful of the cheap forever Rigby and her middle-aged daughters. A wedding gypsy band bangs out a domestic lament on antique ukulele and petrified elk bone. A flower on the guitar, withers wantonly hippie anthems entangled within broken strings and fires tunes. Reliving those moments otherwise left alone throughout these gutted crates and creative gutters. Woodstock burns as we windmill on the wasteland of Elliot. My wind-blown voice prints on the ruins and verandas around imitation Roman columns. At the outpost of the mediocre and mid-level administration is making it. The romanticized soccer in all threadbare elegance, questioning the eternal limit echoes like tendrils. Might I be the only one here in the roll call of minor setbacks and major failures? A dim yes, vain no, and a resonating maybe, saluting the first flag visible through the settling dust and the setting dusk. Embroidering my uniform of deathless song, I whistle woman with the curviest of drums. Would be libertine if I wounds are literate, so I make fun of it all with the skewed perspectives and scandalous adjectives. It's like the surgic acid versus venomous incantations over influence of our tongue. Look at me growl, mouthful of venison and perennial yawn. When I wake up, I may find it all gone. My cheaply inked innocence is indeed very thin, and being holed up in a motel with a case of whiskey and a typewriter is not a vision quest. Somebody give me a hero and I'll author a tragedy yet. Murdering the theater in an idle afternoon. Produce up and death meet and don't create, but do play chess in the park until the curators and clerics proceed to their quarters. Heretics in the paradise of Fitzgerald. In the alleys of Frisco, all recurring tourists can only begin to think picturesque. Or more distantly, postcard. Once a cipher at, now I'm looking for a publisher of dead beatitudes and parables. As absurd as the world we've opened for ourselves out of worn down wonderment and wormwood. Rewriting the masterpieces word by word. Listen carefully, this song's an empty shell on the shore of the worthless ones. My stab is simplifying beyond the hybrid of a smiling Sambo and Stony Buster Keaton. Phantoms in blackface dance provocatively around bundles of unknown psycho-colonial tomes. Oh, it's as obvious as I get without hollering fuck my father in double time. Freebasing placebos in a corporate experiment. I've seen some of our most brilliant minds corrupted by boredom and booze. Like 6'2" howls, but psyche shit-stained and incoherent. I'm a cycle myself, still chasing the aesthetic with the hellhound on my trail and her handbill in his mouth. Well, maybe I'll just make a living out of question marks. It's the recovery junkie poet / alcoholic novelist, part of us all. Any number of crossroads for yonder children of divorce and bankruptcy court. Hardly a Great Depression, we're all spoiled and mildly neurotic. By day, this middle finger is a white flag signifying our apathetic middle class course. Look at me roar, jaw jammed with raw flesh and perennial yawn. When I wake up, I may find it all gone. Wondering if the glass just half is in an empty world. By now, Dylan's harmonicas museum bound. Soundtrack, the bank commercial. They'll bury you in the suburbs of car keys and cell phones. Warmed over death in 3-bath dream homes and bingo on Sundays. They'll forget you're in the ghetto, banging on your chest to hear the gold rattle in your gums. This pointlessness pulses through my dirt, the faith. Pointless in an imperfect circle without center. Each of us hypocrite creatures without flocks. Every generation is lost and makes songs out of it, but ours exiled from the search.
Ungently left to ponder what's taking place. I repair my keep, staring at his small sleeping face.
Everything's a phase and I've come such a long way.
I've given all to appease an unknown and have held to pay.
Strategy is my biggest tool in this universal tournament. Merciless, inducing turbulence to touch my pertinence. Also enlightening and always above.
The ultimate prevail, valiant needs of emotion. Forces interlocking, fusing in theory or motion.
Life is but a tale, so many noble notions. Good breakfast, make a checklist, alphabetize my records. All the struggling that I endure has made my back and neck hurt.
That slab of worms and roots we raped to rot in.
It wasn't my fault, I thought and fought, yet it's taunting. Expand through the stages, every day's a new planet. But still feel on completion after I run the gamut. Health, love, success, woman, the man, trust, progress, culture, frailty, healing, destiny, endurance, family, science, society, music, the soul, healing, mind, health, security, drugs, times, trials, punch, advance, innocence, smiles, love, chance, relevance.
What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life?
Commission myself to a cause with a pause, I want some exchange. This undying feeling is the strongest in my emotion range. Passion, positioning, I hunger for the kisses, convulsing, lusting, clutch me, hold me, touch me, thrusting, thrust. We all piled up our anger, grunted and gritted. As we rumbled to the aftermath, we attained nothing that we wanted.
The easiest chosen but hardest to ground understood. Drawing a front line thin between must and should.
At ease, no worrying, scurrying around to accomplish tasks all taken care of. Relax, no need to ask. It hurts so good, misunderstood. I wouldn't leave it even when I wish that I could. And from here all is clear, playthings become I knew it all. I always thought bare my imagination, my perception's a misleading tool.
Of gravity, of relativity, of no accord. Our earthly genuine attempts to clone what is formed.
But it's beholding, molding, constantly expanding and constructing. There's no foreseeing or happening, obstructing.
The pure reason, random, beyond results. Always shaping a happened, its fate's only in soul.
Voice gang raped by talent, medium in question. Impregnated by all three of them in great expression. We'll just take a cylinder to symbolize the presence of the presence. Hollow and covering, shaking the space of its worthlessness.
A slow gather of scars, petals and appearances. As a firm grasp becomes one composite experience.
From oil and sludge, a new shadow strikes the planet. In the beginning there was darkness, womanish and mannish. All the way to up and away to take this step through the gate that separates the garden from the snake. Open my information highway to intake to fill this puddle for a swelling transition to a lake.
Ring full of energy from empty of duty, weathering the damage to fix again.
This is why I'm here. Where are my trophies? Give me back my land and heart and family. Man, I'm parched. What you need, identical to what I hold above your head. Take heed, read my gospel, memorize all that I've said. Next, make it better than the last was built. Next, do it again, this time looking at with what you were dealt.
What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of this life?
Nature, health, knowledge, success, woman, man, trust, progress, culture, frailty, healing, destiny, endurance, family, science, society, music, soul, healing, mind, health, security, drugs, time, trials, punch, advance, innocence, smiles, love, chance, relevance, fortune, health, knowledge, success, woman, man, trust, progress, culture, faith, healing, destiny, endurance, family, science, society, music, soul, healing, mind, health, security, drugs, time, trial, hunt, advance, innocence, smiles, love, chance, relevance, fortune, health, knowledge, success, woman, man, trust, progress, culture, faith, healing, destiny, endurance, family, science, society, music, soul, healing, mind, health, security, drugs, time, trial, hunt, advance, innocence, smiles, love, chance, relevance, fortune, health, knowledge, success, woman, man, trust, progress, culture, faith, healing, destiny, music, soul, healing, mind, health, security, drugs, time, trial, hunt, advance, innocence, smile, love, chance, relevance, endurance, family, science, society, fortune, health, knowledge, success, woman, man, trust, progress, culture, faith, healing, destiny, music, soul, healing, mind, health,
security, drugs, time, trial, hunt, advance, innocent, smile, love, chance, relevance, endurance, family, science, society, boring.
It's them with their baby feeding hummingbirds and Milky Ways. It's them watch your seashells and blow out the big wick. It's them, it's them, it's them. Don't fit him into a pillow or monocle. This one's just righteousness, half full and logical. Meanwhile, remote, absolute, you know where to go. But onward and upward, class rounds round the heart. Let transmission commence. Hello, goodbye, doc. No, not to fit him into a pillow or monocle. This one's just righteousness, half full and logical. Meanwhile, remote, absolute, and nowhere to go. But onward and upward, class rounds round the heart. Let transmission commence. Hello, goodbye, doc. Really, I wonder, is this all material? 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 It doesn't look like an ice sculpture. Or does it? If I really had attention time, stage and age would gallop and sing before me. I was still in an orchid, one ritual stood channels in the rivers and brooks deep with low beauty. Grimace, flee, souls don't eat shelter. Grimace, flee, souls don't eat shelter. Grimace, flee, souls don't need shelter. Grimace, flee, souls don't need shelter. Made it well, knowledge radiating through. Sean what sacred smell side of swimming prisms, grey call. Which one will erect a definition for their bliss and set its semblance sincere an object with pride down gently before a global judge and grudge in open forum. I think hundreds of thousands of chattering silver-faced monkeys screech and find them fascinating, although nowhere to be found at the periphery of some generation. I'm not familiar with the term. Boiled to a crack. Happy now, will be bird in hand. I've been mutilated trying, teaching myself presence, technique, and acceptability. It seems your son is up consumed. Boiled to a crack. What do you mean there's no war? All the rations sound the alarm. There must be a stowaway. What do you mean there's no war? All the rations sound the alarm. There must be a stowaway. A drip, board, a crack, and a trickle. Soon the whole gathered its body and they all drowned to meet with a grin stick and handkerchief amid flowering dust at the crossroads. Don't peter out on me now. Thrust your fist into the sunset. Texture within the footprints, and atop the wind, I feel leap like something to crawl on. Sunlit, small, I run beneath the soil, presence beyond walls. Art is everywhere, I refuse to know where I wander. To know where art is everywhere, I wonder. To know where art is everywhere, I wander. To know where art is everywhere, I wonder. Next time I'm bored, the man's going down. I'll stomp on anyone's brown bag and lunch when they're not looking. It's not actually bad rap, I just don't feel it. There, I said it. Next time I'm bored, the man's going down. I'll stomp on anyone's brown bag and lunch when they're not looking. It's not actually bad rap, I just don't feel it. There, I said it. Litter and clay masks. It's them. Finish your last thought and then the battle packs. It's them, it's them, it's them. Don't say she's crying in a sound of scaring monsters don't exist in blood and guts and little broken bits of love. Just don't say it. All gatherers the greatness in their glory days and soft and lovely rays. Can't hold back and pour. Please don't. She wails for her aunts in pain. Pity the stick figures of bold, proud fame. Trapped on paper, drawn to where babies come from. We think, can't figure out the gist of setting a precedent. Since shock, sacrosanct and such as round and hid, inhibited, shocked and implanted and limited, prohibited. It's them. It's all a game, the fair and right has beat it out. Production was always paramount. What have we done to deserve this? Fruit pickers learned to herd, and now the butcher's got mechanical pencils. Just leave the children style process preserved. Pack anything but the children tear. Horses try to sell, they spare no one. We're giving selves directives for the tots and toddlers not to gorge out fantasies and superhuman fetishes. If you give us strangers baby toys, the entertainment and enjoyment they receive will read and write crystal ball of fate, renewed and fertile help. Someone page the god. Help. Is there a poet in the house? Help. I'm afraid we'll have to innovate. Help. We can't bring her back to life alone. And there, between the Tim and yellow voice and my candle in the space and my little known book, she left this form and I saw her dust in the lights, angles, and heard you there, young man. My metamorphosis, your efforts, that's all natural. Just learn from virtues, keep them, perpetuate your fortune in both worlds. Give and give and give. There's nothing wrong with gardens, and in everyone's preserve. Truth is truth, both perfect and realistic. You know when energy is flowing. Smile, teach yourself to write, and let them buy the album. Thanks.
Myself inanimate. Look in the barely breathable diorama shoebox. Real close now. Look, you can see me. I am in the dollhouse chair with the perpetually fastened safety belt. Or maybe I'm pinned to styrofoam, put on display for my friends and neighbors. Wings extended, help me now. Ha 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 ha.
Check it. Fresh, yes. It is real today. Word? We drop shit for you like this.
On my 19th edge perpetual circle path, I've opened ears to the humming air melody. Of sitting in the same displaced solvent as some distant relative who dropped me where I sit and sat. Stopped for a moment, dwelling on my 1,000-year descendant bloody birth. Yeah. Entering a niche, like the normal setting notch of my world's brightness knob, I click to a halt where I'm sure he stopped. Thinking of me sharing this space so many circles later in the sliding time at the same shape shifting. Back. Like the better the artist, the harder they bite. 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 I never chew with my mouth open. I'm hoping you can read between the lines of art from someone else. A little bit of style stuck in between your incisor and fly supervisor. Please swallow the knickknacks you brought from the shelf. It's a Xeroxing world and everyone should open wide and close their jaws. I've been biting for biting, the biting biters now.
The incredible melting man himself in person. Goddess bored, apolitical and unemployed miracle worker. Garbage-eyed orbital, big pocket feature, vacuous, disposable, and absolutely modern. By the way, I fit this immortality from the age of reproduction. Printed with the proper paperback with binding glue made from Bill Blake's horse of instruction.
I invented drown so I could break it and throw it in your eyes. By the way, NASA bit space from the Aztecs. Who broke the spokes of the reinvented wheel? Spoke to the followers and spat at the window. Had your chance, rolled it down, just passed by casually. I learned to bite from my teachers who were fighters.
I got senses and I know how to use them. I'm a user and both my parents wore glasses. A house housing it, ignoring kids in the mechanical haircut. Seeing as being out of London. Thank God never museums repeat themselves. Thank God never museums
like the public to know that I am a poet first and a would-be assassin second.
I really like words like through because there's
through, and through. You know, there's three types of people in the world. The ones that go to the meetings, the ones that wait outside of the meetings, and the ones that wait for the phone calls. Hey,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? That's mine!
Never been alone, gunmen on this open and mezzanine, reenacting the murder landing for an audience of victims. Rewriting my song to Murder Creek and I call it I'm Walking the Rain. I did it from spring mornings. Where's my Greek choir? I'm walking the rain. What did you expect? I did this birthmark from all over Europe, and I'll be a dead white man one day too.
The country to my handprint from the people's seed, and what did the George Washington's did over 100 and something things with the peanut plus lights off ornaments and traces. We made it, you heard it first. Why I practically beat this from
I'm just taking a sample for scientific study, I'll bring it right back when I'm drained for all it's worth, my buddy, I'll sing songs, paint pictures, write poems, and do a dance and chuckle to myself as I followed an inspiration. Oops, I forgot it in my other pants. You didn't really need that, did you? I bit that excuse from this guy I once knew. When I'm angry, bite my tongue. When uninspired, pop my nails. Sometimes I talk out loud. Mostly I learn time from when spoken at. In these buildings, they mock me for not building with them. This castle is for them. I'm kinder to the peasants. Find me, I look Irish. There is no obvious influence. I bet that's my parents.
We've broken our fingers, but never naturally. We've broken figurines, but never the natural law. We've broken our fingers, but never naturally. We've broken figurines, but never the natural law. We've broken our fingers, but never naturally. We've broken figurines, but never the natural law. We've broken our fingers, but never naturally. We've broken figurines, but never the natural law. Better artists, harder bites. Better artists, harder bites. Better artists, harder bites. Better artists, harder bites. The better the artist, the harder they bite. 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 The better the artist, the harder they bite.
Game? Or is it real?
I know I'm being followed by invisible men. Life is good, but why am I so miserable then? I'm second guessing my every decision, but my hand is guided with heavy precision. I can't even trust my own eyes, but actually everything I do is done with pinpoint accuracy. At least once a week I come this close to dying, but nothing ever happens. Am I supposed to try and kill the heart of a man, or is every move I make just a part of the plan? When should I expect the last radical invasion? I refuse to believe my life's a mathematical equation. What can I do to pull the plug or burn the bridges? What if I start doing drugs or turn religious? Every involuntary swallow brings a pattern and a chance to wear a halo like the rings of Saturn. What do my family and friends know that I don't? The back of my mind, to the back of my throat, in front of my face, and under my nose. I wonder why nobody notices none of this. I am expert, indivisible, miserable, individual, over my head still, running the treadmill, one step faster than the men with the master plan. Maybe.
Game? Or is it real? What's the difference? Game? Or is it real? What's the difference? Game? Or is it real? What's the difference? Game? Or is it real? What's the difference?
Each move is like a simile, comparing what I see to what I remember. Which pretender are you? By standing on that same corner I've seen, passing me in the present, the dream. Bend these words to mean what they mean now. Somehow lost in 5 W's. I misuse the game, and then I forfeit the checkmate. Rook takes bishop, wait, I remember the next move. It goes something like, my paper mache wings falling and I take flight. I fly into the layups at night, see my pieces already there. See the art workers disappear into clarity. Never compare me to myself, I know us well. Living in between imagination and the parallel. One thing leading to nothing at all, another thing leading to itself.
Game? Or is it real? What's the difference?
food or condolences. Let my people go, burn off this useless flesh, and make meals of my pestilence. Lessons on my tourniquets. Maybe I've seen too much and I had enough. Either way, this is my last entry forever. Please don't let my children read this. I was meditating when I wrote this the first time, but interrupted by my screaming walls. Hard to concentrate in my 7x12 cell. Everyone watching my every move. Even with these shrouds I feel naked. The windows talk to me and tell me that I ought to leave. Only one way out, the door is too risky. Someone might not see me, be careful. We used to paint the canvas, made me feel alive. Oh, how they marveled at the spectacle I made of myself. I made it for them, but it was really my communication to conjure up through. Forever immortalized, carbon dioxide chokes me. And I fear no man but my shadow. There are a lot of things I've learned not to say out loud. If my parents were alive, they'd still be proud. Sometimes I imagine myself as a loss, the leftover remains of a castaway god. If I'm homeless, there's no earth. Someday I'll be famous, and you can put that on my birth. My word is worth the demons that raped my being. Childhood didn't happen. I was made as this, my walking prison. Guarded by my life on a limb. Mood swings, enjoy at my whim. Take it for what it seems and much more. Must find maker, how am I, and who did I, and how did I wake up on this bench covered in mud? Taking a shower won't relieve my stress. I can even lift my brush to paint my long-awaited goodbye. Yet I'm feeling optimistic, relatively. This is my testimony, gonna test I passed miserably. Why do I keep dying in public places? The medication should take 2 hours to take effect. But last time I was killed eating my last meal. It's embarrassing and I die inside. This is my favorite rock. I come here to think about all the things that make me. This is my favorite poem. I wrote this before I died last time. These are my favorite friends. They don't talk much and probably aren't even listening. This is my favorite place, so I hope that I don't last here too long. The other night I was doing my everyday things, trying to find a girl to take to my apartment. She's beautiful and clearly cares for me. She likes my work and wants to understand what fuels my art. We lay side by side, happy knowing that there was only 30 minutes left of this to endure. She spoke typical things and gave of herself freely, but started freaking out as I convulsed during oral sex. Concerned for me, she held me, and I laughed at those tears for a while. The next day I was still dead and she had joined me. How odd as I recall of how she gave of herself freely. As I drank my orange juice I began to study all of her beauty. We danced and made love for hours. Talked about important things and how our children would grow up and die also. And how futile it was until we finally fell in love. I'll never be alone again and she will never leave me. I forgot why I write these things down. Even as I write this, I'm realizing how useless it is to put ideas to words, water to wine, stupidity and valor. The streetlights are prey to when the gunners are fishing. My wife is no longer good for sex. Her body doesn't speak to me, and I'm getting sick of her attitude. There's other fish in the sea, and I haven't stopped breathing for 3 days. I hope everything's alright. Today I down 90 milligrams. After 20 I could feel the head rush. I raced to my gallery roof, gazing at the beauty that we always take for granted. It's my opening night, spinning everyone to be there. Who's anyone to bear witness to my newest, latest and greatest work? I'm a comet, human cannonball, swan dive. Never has the air been so clean. I inhale and exhale and become one. My ends on the sidewalk, a vivid display of 170 pounds of blood, sweat and tears, critique away. But my greatest work is in the pavement. I made it for you. This is my favorite performance, and I hope nobody ever bites it. This is what I've been working up to all along, finally alone at last. This is my favorite person, and she will always be with me in spirit. These These are my favorite words. I hope I don't have anything left to say.
It was the that got me. It was the break. Deflate, cause I was gassed. Head over heels in love with the electric drums and spoken vocals, which was the joke of locals and laughing stock of my rock and roll ass town. But the rhythmic acupuncture pierced my skin, pinning the butterflies to my stomach, which would flutter every time I heard the more than a. I was no devil worshiper, higher level interpreter. I refuse to lose focus and recite satanic verses with manic curses, drug-induced. Worst was I knew they were saying kill your mother cause it paid them well. Yet in my flashback, I see the foreshadow, ironic twist. My first purchase was a hip-hop record called Raising Hell. I should have run when I had the chance, but DMCs made me want to break dance, made me want to spin vinyl, made me want to graph right, made me want to not act white. And not to perpetuate any stereotypes, but I was not about the mullet ice hockey haircut. You know the mullet. Short on top for the fellas, long in back for the ladies. Yeah. I was not about the stone-washed nut huggers with the French rolls on the bottom so tight it turned my toes purple. Nor was I about the ripped jean jacket with the Megadeth, Metallica, and Slayer patch. I had an internal itch for the and never could I get with the guitar riff, the guitar riff, I had wild style wars. I rented Beat Street every week as I rocked steady, wearing out the play, rewind, and slow-mo buttons on my VCR. I did the pause, play, rewind, stop, play, pause, play. Pause, play all day, forcing my way into comprehension of inner city invention. For me, it was in the expression which would eventually win me exception. One exception, those around me couldn't give me affection. But I played and paid that video attention until eventually I completely bit the and found my new religion. Born again B-boy, born to destroy decoys and be the real McCoy. Yeah, boy! I wore the clock so you could know the time. Chuck D told me to keep a sober mind, and even though his sidekick liked the flavor of bass, I swear to God hip-hop was about being drug-free. I swear to God hip-hop was about the upliftment of humanity. I swear to God, hip-hop was what rock was not, was what rock was not pop. Psh, guess I was gassed. See, I remember when Dr. Dre used to express himself about hating the chronic. A few years later, he's endorsing it while drinking gin and tonic. Suburbanites that blast mace learned their mad face from Onyx. It was a rat race, the first to properly use ebonics. Dynamite like JJ, but it was a fad like supersonic. Hip-hop flipped from being artistic to a pop hit. Mainstream took control and we cannot stop it. It's a black art being manipulated by white controllers. Just like rock and roll is. We took the The end.